Um, Hello world, I'm Miyah Sundermeyer, and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. So far, I have been able to share my own experiences with you guys on what it's been like for me to live with autism. Other times, I like to give my 2 cents as to what's going on with autism in the media. Other times, I like to give tips to individuals on the autism spectrum and to their families and their peers and their mentors, and to anybody who's in the community, whether they are on the autism side or whether they are not. And finally, what I will do now is cover topics that I'm passionate about that have absolutely nothing to do with autism whatsoever, because I would like you guys to see who I am as a whole person. But anyway, today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my experiences on what it's like for me to live with autism. And what I'd like to do is talk to you guys about when I realized that I was different from other people and other peers my age especially. So, for the first 12 years of my life, I had an easy time playing with other girls my age. We played with dolls, we talked about The Lion King and Cinderella and Princess Jasmine. We had imaginary play, we played with toys, we got together on a regular basis, we did sleepovers, we called each other daily, but it was when I had entered the middle school or junior high that I had begun to realize that I was different from everybody else. I mean, for one thing, everybody else around me seemed to mature a lot quicker. They seemed to know where they were going with their life. Some of them fell in love with the idea that it was cool to start dating after 12 years old, and they started noticing boys, and they started to boast about how cute their first boyfriends were. Others fell in love with the idea of getting involved with track and cross country, and they fell in love with basketball and hockey and football and figure skating, and they fell in love with getting the chance to go and see an R-rated movie with the permission of their parents, even though they were under 17 years old. Meanwhile, I was still interested in playing with kids that were 6 and 7 years younger than I was, because they still shared the same things that I did. They still liked The Lion King. They still liked Aladdin. They still liked The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Disney princesses, which, by the way, was my passion. I had a big interest in animation through Disney. I mean, again, I liked The Lion King. I liked The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I also had a tendency to enjoy singing songs of little kids. And I remember trying to be silly, and some of these peers that were in my special education classes seemed to frown upon that, and they would talk down to me and remind me how something was not appropriate. And I also remember feeling very isolated and feeling like I was a freak because I didn't catch on like everybody else. I didn't like wearing bras because I didn't like wearing the tightness under my clothes. And other girls my age seemed to boast about liking the feeling of bras because it meant that they were turning into a woman. Others like to put on makeup. I mean, I was falling in love with wearing makeup too, but this was even though I was a 6 and 7 year old little kid, while everybody else my age was interested in, in other things like hockey and football. And yes, I did develop an interest in top 40 music, which is what most teenagers liked. I was interested in the school dances. I was somewhat interested in learning how to cook and learning how to sew. And I mean, I did somewhat fall into the theme of liking fashion. And they weren't things like Lion King shirts. They weren't things like wearing Princess Jasmine bows in your hair. I did somewhat develop that interest. And then I did also look at going into the goth look for a while. So anyway, for those of you that are going through what I did during that age, I would love to hear from you. Do not forget to comment and subscribe and share this vlog with anybody that you know that's on the autism spectrum, that is feeling isolated and feeling lonely and being teased by their peers. Until next time, I'm Miyah Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off.